All right, y'all, back to work. Boy, fantastic job today. Buyers got that retest trade this afternoon. Fantastic work. Now, we have a big day coming tomorrow. It looks like a government shutdown is all but guaranteed. But look at the charts right now. A beautiful range. I would call it a beautiful range we saw today. Some folks might call it a nasty range. I thought it was beautiful this morning. Beautiful range, strong breakout higher, all-time highs just overhead. Yeah, it seems like breakout pullbacks are probably where the money is made tomorrow. But hold on, though. I know we get the government shutdown starting tomorrow, most likely, in case they pull something out of their hat overnight. Things might get a bit bearish overnight, right? So we'll talk about some backup plans in case things get wild here overnight. So I'll tell you, if you like making money, this might be the most important video you watch all week. So charts are ready. Enough of the intro, eh? Let's dive right in. Let's make some more money on what should be a fantastic Wednesday trading session. S&P SPY ready to go tonight. Nasdaq triple Qs are ready, aren't they? I've got 5 clues on these charts tonight telling me where I think the money is made tomorrow. The first clue is right here on the hourly chart. I like to use the hourly time frame as a directional filter, and right now it's very easy to see right now the buyers are in full control of momentum. And as we talked about in last night's video, we also see those all-time highs are right overhead here right now. And remember, those all-time highs, they tend to have a bit of a psychological gravitational pull towards them. So we're definitely bullish. We're right around all-time highs right now. That's one big clue for me here tomorrow. The second clue on the calendar for tomorrow, of course, is a brand new month, October the 1st. There's 3 things on my mind for tomorrow. First is the ADP employment report. Now, this would not normally be on my radar, but if we do have a government shutdown, the BLS, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, will not be reporting that non-farm number on Friday morning. That means investors and traders, they're going to link up with that ADP employment number tomorrow morning. That could be one of the biggest ADP movers we've seen all year this year. The bigger news, though, I see for tomorrow is the ISM Manufacturing Index, another third-party agency that will not be affected by the government shutdown, again, unless they pull something out of their hat here before midnight here tonight. So those are the 2 big news reports. The 8:15 report, obviously, the pre-market report, but keep your eyes around that 10 o'clock hour tomorrow, that ISM Manufacturing Index. And the third thing, of course, is the government shutdown, which at this point seems all but guaranteed. But you know what? Let's think about this, though. Put yourself in Donald Trump's shoes right now. If your goal is to downsize the government, if your goal is to have more control over how these agencies operate, the more you think about this, a government shutdown may not really be such a bad thing. We have this negative connotation for the government shutdown, but the more I think about these if-then scenarios, it doesn't seem like this hurts him as bad as the side of the aisle will be hurt, though. So I wouldn't be surprised if President Trump here in the U.S., I wouldn't be surprised if he finds a way to make this a good thing over the next 48 to 72 hours. Something to think about, right, as we go into the government shutdown here overnight. And of course, I could be way wrong on this. The markets may freak out tomorrow morning. We'll cover some scenarios if I'm wrong about this, because the last time we saw a government shutdown was 2018. So it's been quite a while, and today's world is very different than it was back in 2018. So let's now dive into some charts right now, because the money is made on the charts. I've got a bunch more clues here on our tick charts right now. Now, tick charts make entry timing a whole lot easier. That is a 7,000 tick chart, by the way, in the upper left-hand corner. And in case you're watching for the first time right now, that is the 21 EMA. It is the only indicator we need to find lots of repeatable profits each week. I see a couple really big clues right now. One big clue, a strong move going higher. And remind me again, why is a strong move higher a big clue? Because we know, as we saw today, and we talked about this last night, when we see a strong move up like this, we know a deep pullback and a retest of that high. So right now we know that strong move right there, it wants to pull back and take out that high, and there's the all-time highs up there. Like I said, that psychological magnet. Keep in mind, all-time highs overhead. Look at that range down there. I mentioned earlier, some folks might call this a nasty, ugly range. If you know my style of trading, we love range days, right? Because what do ranges do? They love to rotate back and forth. And say it again, what if we break out of a range? Yeah, breakout pullbacks. Breakout pullbacks are very, very consistent. In fact, one of the most consistent things I know about technical analysis and trading overall. The final clue is we definitely do have some key levels of resistance up overhead, a breakout pullback zone overhead, all-time highs overhead. So we definitely do need to be aware of that resistance up overhead. So I don't know if this government shutdown will be seen as that much of a bad thing. So strong move higher, we may keep on grinding higher here overnight. We may get some headlines overnight that may lessen the blow of this government shutdown. So if we do wind up going higher, there's two types of trades I'm looking for on this. One will be that separation bear trap trade. If we start running higher overnight, I would like to watch for some separation off that moving average, get a higher high in price, and I'll be looking for half-size positions, quarter-size positions, getting in on that run before we take out that all-time high. We call these technical bear traps if you guys are in my free trading course. Now, at that point, we then find ourselves way up around major resistance. This is then where we then want to look for deeper pullbacks. Now, when I say deeper pullbacks, think about now a channel off the high, a channel off that low, and think about now a two-legged pullback, one leg, two leg. And again, my goal will be to find a channel off the highs, bring it down around that low. My goal will be to find a channel like this. And then once we get that two-legged pullback, I would love to trap in some bears with a bear trap, bears once, bears twice, trap those bears in and squeeze those stops running back up for retest of that high. But remember, as it retests or as it goes back to that retest, think about adding to your winner. As we always say in these videos, right? You want to make more money? Add to your winning trades. I like this sequence for tomorrow. So again, I know there's a lot of negative connotations right now on this government shutdown, but I would not be surprised though if this thing starts grinding going higher. I'm looking for a technical bear trap. Watch that higher high in price, entry right below that low. And again, we'll take our profit targets off at the all-time high. Look for that two-legged pullback. And again, I'm doing is I'm going to trend off the highs, find that channel off of that low, right? Something like that. Then look for the way to trap those bears in the bear trap. Same pattern, but we'll add to our winner. And the goal will be to run right back up and retest that high. That is one scenario I definitely have my eyes on for tomorrow. Now, what if I'm wrong about this though, right? What if this thing crashes and runs back down? I have a couple different entry patterns, a long side trade and a short side trade. We'll talk about that in 2 moments. Before we dive into that though, if you're watching for the first time right now, I get it. This might be a brand new strategy I'm talking about right now. I know most folks watching tonight, you guys know these patterns. You're making money with these already. But if you're watching for the first time right now, I know this might be a brand new language I'm speaking. Don't you worry though. I teach this entire system in my free trading course. In fact, I have a ton of examples of all the entry patterns I'm talking about right now. I cover so much more of this in my free video classes. So if you're not getting the results you want out of your trading right now, guys, the markets are way too good right now not to be making profits. What I'll do is I'll put a link up top here for you, upper right-hand corner, hit that link that popped up there and take that free trading course, because the strategy I teach in that short video series will teach you a simple trick we use in our members trade room that literally tells me exactly where the winning trades are going to be each day. More importantly though, let's face it, we make our money by timing good entries, don't we? So in that video course, I'm going to teach you my 4 favorite entry setups, lots of traps, lots of add-ons. Guys, if you're still missing the best trades right now, if you've lost your confidence in your current strategy, hit that link that popped up there. take that free trading course. You're going to love all the trading samples I include in that short video series. The best part is it's completely free for you. Also be aware too, guys, I'm going to put all the important links below tonight's video in the description of the YouTube video. Start first with that free class link linked up below. Most folks start making money all on their own, all from that free video class. So start there first. And don't forget, guys, too, we trade this stuff together every morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'll put trade room links below tonight's video. Oh, and by the way, too, if you're on Twitter or the X platform they call it these days, I post a ton of charts and videos throughout the day in between these YouTube videos. So if you're on the X platform, give me a follow. Again, all the details you'll need to learn a lot more, earn a lot more are linked below tonight's description of this YouTube video. Perfect. So now you know more about, if you're watching for the first time right now, where to go to learn more and see more examples of the trades I'm talking about here tonight. Okay, we talked about now if we're going higher here, some trades I'm watching for as we go higher here. Now, if we go lower, there's two types of trades I'm watching for as we go lower. Now, if you watch my YouTube videos, you know that anytime we see a range breakout, almost always it's going to be a two-legged pullback and a breakout pullback. We are setting up for that right now. There's one leg right here, two legs coming down, and that puts us smack right into that breakout pullback zone. I would love, again, I'll bet there are a lot of people right now who are blindly trying to sell this market thinking that the government shutdown is a bad thing. What if we run lower here and we can trap in all of these headline traders, right? The news media is definitely trying to make this sound like the world is coming to an end. But again, it might not be that case. I'm starting to think differently than I think a lot of folks are seeing on the news media. I would love to get a bear trap, one try, two try, trap those bears in, squeeze those stops, and again, all that momentum going higher, you know where this market now wants to go. So as it runs back up to retest the high, add to your winner, right? Add to your winner. Separation off the moving average, higher high in price, get in right below that low. Love those bear traps into add-ons in our trade room. Again, target is back up to retest the high. Now, one thing you do want to remember, and that is, we oftentimes will get situations like this where we'll get that nice deep two-legged pullback. We'll get that bear trap to trigger. It'll be a nice, easy winning trade. But every once in a while, what happens is we get just above the high of that first leg and we see another leg running lower. Now, I know this will feel like a reversal, but remember that the hourly chart is for direction. These are tick charts, right? We don't use the tick charts for direction. So if they are successful at holding us back from retesting that high and we see one more leg going lower, this is not a bearish reversal. In my eyes, it's a retest trade. Once they go back to retest that low now, think this way. Anybody who sells short on that little bull trap off that high, where's their profit target? Their profit target's where? It's right back at that low. So in my eyes, the sellers up here, they become buyers down there. What do you think? Is that a good place to be a seller? Of course not, right? It's the worst place you want to be a seller. But I can almost guarantee you, though, there'd be a lot of inexperienced traders that will get fooled into selling into that retest because, again, they're drinking the Kool-Aid, reading the headlines for that government shutdown here coming tomorrow. So on that retest now, do it again. It is the same exact entry pattern. It's bears once, it's bears twice, it's trapped those bears in. I want to buy right into their pain. Okay, that's why they work so well. If you're caught short and you get stopped out of a short trade, you buy your way out. That's why these bear traps work so well. And again, a lot of examples of these inside that free video course. So hit that bear trap. We'll take that one-to-one target. We'll look for ways to add to our winner with the add-on trade. And then the goal is to keep hunting for a retest of that high. I like that retest trade there a lot. Now, last but not least here, what if I'm wrong about this? And also too, what if it goes sideways overnight? This would not be surprising at all, right? Because again, I think as people begin to realize that government shutdown, I know it's not good for politics, it made some backlash of it, but I think once people begin to realize that this does not really hurt the Trump administration as much as it would other larger government administrations, we may wind up treading water here. The Nasdaq shows us a great example of that. We'll grab that in the Nasdaq here in a moment. But let's say I'm wrong about this, right? Let's say overnight now we start to really roll and make that run going lower. I mean, in all reality, this could turn into one big pendulum swing. The amount above, the amount below, right? Like this range right here, we know ranges, they love to rotate with symmetry. So this could wind up, right? If I'm eating my words tomorrow morning, this thing starts rolling over here hard. Okay, how would I short something like this? The most important thing is, well, two things, first of all. One, it will begin to separate away from the moving average. So you're gonna know right away, if this thing begins to separate and grind away from that moving average, that's going to be your clue that, okay, we're not looking to buy that breakout pullback. What happens most of the time in these situations is it begins to grind down. I can then go out and find a trend line off the low. I can bring that trend line now up around those highs. And as always, look left, find a prior swing, and the short on this one will be off the top of that channel. We always say first test is the best test. And in all reality, it could be any of the entry patterns you guys are learning in the free video classes. So it could be a technical bull trap above that prior high. Oftentimes they get above the moving average. Buyers try once, buyers try twice. It's a 2-try bear trap off that high. The bottom line is, no matter which entry pattern we use, a trap, a failure pattern, a pullback combination, maybe a strength trade going lower. And again, if you're here for the first time right now, that terminology might be way over your head. It'll make a lot more sense though once you dive into that free video course I've linked up in the description of this YouTube video. But again, this is the technique I'll use to short this thing. It requires though some patience, right? We have to see now it needs to separate and begin to grind lower. Once that happens, now we know find that channel. Now we know mark those swings and don't miss that first test is the best test. And remember too, this could easily run lower. We start getting more separation off the moving average, lower low in price, people piling on right now, right? These are the entry patterns looking for to short this thing right now. Again, it'd be a bull trap, a technical trap off the high of that channel, and an add-on trade. Separation, separation, separation. That's the key right now to knowing if this is rolling over and gonna be a good short trade. But again, right, we might want to be a bit more open-minded right now to the actual effects of this government shutdown if it's Donald Trump in the White House right now. That's my game plan here, going higher and going lower. But again, let's go to the Nasdaq right now, because the Nasdaq, we might get a range up here. And in all reality, a range market, you know my style, right? Or maybe you don't. Ranges are the easiest ones to make money with. Let's go now dive into the Nasdaq here right now. Nasdaq, speaking of range right now, that Nasdaq was nasty, nasty. Today it wasn't. You could definitely tell it was end of the month, end of the quarter, and of course that looming government shutdown. Now remember, we want to use the hourly time frame as our direction. And after that three-legged move we saw from J-Pow last week, we finished the week last week running right back up. And what do you see right now? A strong move going higher. Remind me again, what do strong moves do? Strong moves tell us keep on hunting for a retest. And again, the all-time high right there, they act as a psychological pull, right? People see it. Price is a way of gravitating towards it. It's the way these markets work. So a lot of evidence right now, though, although my instinct is to short a government shutdown, again, the technicals right now, they don't exactly agree with that short. Now, before I dive into the tick charts here and talk entry tax in the Nasdaq here, if you're enjoying tonight's video, please help me grow this channel, will ya? By hitting that like button. Make sure you subscribe. I know we're all busy people these days too, by the way. I appreciate you guys tuning in and watching my videos here every evening. So as always, guys, thank you so much for the likes, the subs, all the ongoing support. Now enough chit chat here. Let's talk about the tick charts here and dive into on that NASDAQ. What are you seeing right now here on the NASDAQ? Well, first of all, there is that strong move going higher, right? That strong move going higher again. It's still a magnet, right? Strong move still trying to retest that high. That was the same strong move we saw earlier on the hourly time frame. Another strong move going higher. And by the way, how do you know what is a strong move? It's separation. Right? It's separation. Look over here, right? The pullbacks separate away from that moving average. Look at the pullbacks, right? The pullbacks, they separate, right? Again, separation equals strength. So strong run going higher, they're going to want to retest on that high here. Another big clue, range breakout, right? Range breakout. Now, I will say on this one, it's more of a bearish move into a range. Again, it is very tempting right now to want to short this thing back down again because it is a bearish move into a range. But once again, though, look at the higher time frame. We're still an overall bull market. We still have two strong moves that have not been retested yet. So again, I do like the idea of if we do start grinding down, I like the idea of that bull trap short off the high of that channel. I definitely agree. This could easily pendulum swing all the way back down here right now. Maybe all the way here, if I can get to the comment post here. Maybe all the way down to that, what is that, 67 level down there? Now, I will say that this definitely does look like it's potential to do that. But again, right now, there's no evidence yet in the charts yet that is a likelihood at this point here, especially start thinking about the kind of flipping that opinion of the government shutdown right now. Okay, so very much the same clues on the S&P. We got overhead resistance. We got overhead resistance up there at the all-time highs. So again, I would not complain at all about that run back down. This would be a great spot down here for a bear trap down here and run it right back up again. This would not be a bad trade whatsoever, right? So don't be afraid of that one. If it does roll over again, get that channel, that short, take it out, complete that pendulum swing, trap those bears in, squeeze those stops. Remember, add to your winner as it rotates. All the same stuff we talk about pretty much every evening here on these videos. And again, you'll learn this technique in a lot more detail in that free video course. I also think too, right? Like I said earlier on the S&P, one leg, two-legged pullback, bear trap off a breakout pullback, add more on with the winner, right? Add more on with separation. That same stuff we mentioned earlier on the S&P. Love the idea of that breakout pullback. If we don't get it and we start running higher, if the world kind of wakes up and realizes, wait a second, this may not be as bad as we thought, if we start seeing separation off that moving average. Now again, these are very aggressive trades here, right? These are half-size trades for me, quarter-size trades oftentimes for me. Once I get the all-time high, now we go out, go find a larger channel up here, right? Look for that two-legged pullback and use that same bear trap technique, right? Bears once, twice, trap them in, squeeze those stops, and the goal is always what? Go back up and retest the high. So a bit of repeating myself. We mentioned earlier on the S&P. One last thing here on the Nasdaq is, what if it goes into a range tomorrow? This, in all reality, right, is the easiest way to make money. Like we saw today, what happens in range markets? They rotate down, up, back and forth. They rotate. So if we start seeing a range develop here right now, you can see kind of where that range might be starting to take form right now. This may not be the actual range tomorrow, but if we have a bullish market right now, into a trading range, what's going to happen? Well, the amount above the range, the amount below the range, that becomes a key level of support. We know that ranges, they like to rotate back and forth like this. We know that previous ranges are perfect for breakout pullback. So as you can see right now, this would not be bad at all. Get underneath that trading range, use that previous range now as a breakout pullback. We use that same bear trap technique, the bears once, bears twice, stop those bears out, squeeze those stops from those bears. As it rotates back higher again, what happens? We get separation, the higher high in price, ton of examples of these inside our free video course. And then what do? We use the pendulum swing technique, the amount below the range, the amount above the range. That creates our target overhead. Now, again, with that all-time high up there acting as a magnet, oftentimes these don't stop. Oftentimes they keep on going. If they keep on going, what do? We then use that range now for what? For a two-legged pullback, a breakout pullback, and we go from there, right? That same bear trap and the add-on technique I mentioned earlier on in this video. The challenging part about a range play, okay, is always going to be, though, if it goes higher first, right? So, for example, and again, this may not be the range we see tomorrow, but bear with me here for a second. If we start seeing a range develop here overnight, we may go higher here first, run into some key levels of resistance. We may get what's called a crown reversal pattern. It's buyers trying once, lower low, buyers trying twice, lower low, above that high. We may see a crown reversal pattern for a nice easy short off that high. Now again, don't let this fool you. This will feel very bearish, but all it is, it's a range rotation. The amount above, the amount below. That tells you now where that target goes. All we do now is wait for that moving average to come down, wait for those rookies to chase after it, bears once, bears twice, and we squeeze those suckers right back up again. So just be aware of that. If we do go sideways overnight, which seems pretty logical, right? If people are wondering what's going to happen with this government shutdown, we may be a bit paralyzed here next 24 hours here. So if we do see a range develop overnight, we'll then use that range to buy below, sell above the highs. Remember, when you go against a trend like that, half size trade, quarter size trade, right? A crown reversal short off the high. And if it really rips, we start watching for breakout pullbacks off that trading range. All right, guys? Well, I'm getting excited just talking this stuff through you guys here on this video. What do you think, though? Let me know in the comments below. Are you on the same page on this one? Is the government shutdown, maybe it's not that big of a deal? What do you think? We'll love to hear your feedback in the comments below. But that's my game plan for tomorrow. We know how to trade it going higher. We got a game plan that falls apart. And again, I wouldn't be upset at all if it drops all the way down, gives a bear trap down there and right back up off that pendulum swing. All right, guys, that's all for me tonight, though. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time, the place to be is in the trade room. Guys, the easiest way, start making money in these great marks. Come on, learn and trade along every morning at the opening bell. As always, I'll put all the important links you need to get started in the description of the video. Start first on that free video course. You're going to love the trade examples I include on the website. Then come join us in the trade room and we'll do it together. In the meantime, guys, be well out there. Be nice to each other, will ya? And you better be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye for now.